Yeah, I may have to take these off. Sorry. They were fun, but they're giving me a little headache, and probably you are too. Welcome, everybody. So excited to have you on. So much to celebrate. I am Suzy Lawrence, and I am the National Relay Leadership Team co-lead, volunteer, like a lot of you guys on the call, and hopefully we've got some staff too, because we've got awesome staff partners and awesome stuff going on out there in relay world. So welcome, so happy you're here. In the chat, if you'll just put where you're joining from and also what you're most proud of in 2024, because there's an awful lot to be proud of, and we're going to hear some from some speakers, but we also want your input too. So want this to be as interactive as possible. I think we've probably got a few housekeeping things to, just make sure that you're muted. We'll come off mute when we got something to share, and we'll probably do that at the end. Again, we're recording this, so it'll be part of our training series going forward, and available to use, and then put your discussion items in the chat, and then for now, and then we'll probably come off chat, I'm sorry, off silence at the end before our closing speaker. But really excited to have you guys on, and wanted to start out just with some statistical, some number stuff at a former accountant. So this is where I go. And yeah, Saralyn, thank you. So I'm going to turn it over to my staff partner, Brian Sherwood, and another one of my staff partners, Nicole Woolsey. Very fortunate and blessed to get to work with both of them, but they're going to help guide us through this first part.
Well, hey there, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. And as we were thinking about what do we want to celebrate, because like Suzy said, there's so much to celebrate. And a big part of what we want to celebrate is what you help fund and make possible at the American Cancer Society. So we wanted to share some numbers with you. But over 500,000 stays at a night, or nights at a Hope Lodge. Like what? 500 or 427,000. Like what? That's over 500,000 nights. That's incredible. 34,292 guests were served at the Hope Lodge, and 4,800 patients were served through Road to Recovery. So we're always focused on access to care and what that looks like through advocacy, patient services, but you are funding and making this possible. So we're going to kick it over to Brian now.
Yeah, and I think it's important, Nicole, to note that these numbers are not even fully complete. This is as of the end of Q3, so we still even have more impactful numbers to come as well. So sorry, I'm like dealing with some tech issues here. But even more nights are going to be stayed in the last 3 months of the year, and more guests served and patients served through Road and Hope Lodge. But we also know that ACS is the largest funder outside the federal government of cancer research, and so this just gives you a little bit of a look into our active research grants. So you can see these are kind of the categories of research grants. If you're really interested in digging into the numbers, you can scan the QR code in the corner and it takes you to cancer.org where we have all this information. But you can see not only our extramural research where we're funding the best of the best at colleges and universities across the country, as well as at research hospitals like St. Jude and other research institutions across the country. But also that red is our intramural grants. So those are our internal researchers that work for the American Cancer Society, the best and the brightest that are studying cancer in all of these different ways. And so I just think this is a great visual to be able to see, the breadth of the impact that you're having. And it's because of the fundraising that we're doing through programs like Relay and all of your events and your teams that allow us to be able to fund, all of these different research grants towards ending cancer as we know it. And I think we will kick it now back to Suzy.
Yeah, thank you, Brian, and then Nicole. Always awesome. To know where your dollars are going and how they are being spent, and such good stewards of the donor dollar. It's so refreshing to see all these numbers, and we can use that in our fundraising efforts going forward too. But we do have a few people that have agreed to come on and share what their events have done and their successes that they've had. And first up, we're going to have MJ Miller. He is the event lead for the Relay for Life of Uvalde. And MJ, if you'll please come on, I'm not going to give you any introduction. I'm going to let you do it. It's remarkable what you guys were able to accomplish this year, and I want everybody to hear it. So, MJ, please share it
Hey,
with us.
Suzy.
Hey,
Can everyone hear me?
yes.
Fantastic. All right. Hey, everyone. My name is MJ Miller. I'm from Uvalde, Texas, and I am the proud event lead for our event. It's no secret of what has happened and what has taken place in our community just a few years back. And so our goal with anything is just to spread hope and just to be there for one another. And so we I decided to take a leap and bring back an event that is Relay for Life that had not been in our community since 2017. Um, I had a good friend. Her name was Barbara Carpenter, and she, during our tragedy, she was there for us coming into town every day. And then, a couple months later, she was diagnosed with cancer. Then a couple months later, she lost her life. So it hit hard. And I thought, wow, what can I do? What can I do? And I started toggling on the event, and I said, you know what? Let me reach out to the Cancer Society. Let me reach out, see what we can do to bring this event back. Sure enough, I mean, it was remarkable of the communication with the American Cancer Society. I was put in contact after a quick inquiry about it. This is someone who had attended Relay for Life events in the past, had never obviously been on the logistics side. I knew our community had them, and they were very popular. I'm not sure why they went away, any of that. But again, this is just someone who made an inquiry. I was reached out, and Keena Swanson, she is our representative, and she messaged me. Then we had a phone call, and it was a brief introduction. I explained what happened, what we wanted to do, and all these things. And she says, "Well, let's get to it." Um, we got the ball rolling very quickly. My first task was to be able to get an event leadership team. She tasked me with maybe 12 people, 10 to 12 people. And I had that the very next day. Keena, I don't know if you remember that. Yeah. But I had it next day, called her. I said, I got my group. What's next? We met with the group. We had our first meeting. Keena was present virtually, and then we set our goal. I think our goal the first go around might have been 2,500 or 5,000. I'm not sure what it was. And I remember telling her specifically, Keena, I know you don't know me, I don't know you. I said, but I like to do things big. I like to go out and she says, well, let's start there. So we did. We got the ball rolling, us with the team, promoting the event, working logistics, all these good things. Um, it was a wonderful experience, and we circled back to that hope, right? We're building something for our community. We're doing good. We're all these things. Teams started coming in left and right. We wanted to participate. We reached out to sponsors, to businesses, to organizations. It was fantastic. This took off like a wildfire. I mean, the participation was there. We had the support from the community, from the city, from the county level. Again, this is an event that had happened in 2017. The last time we brought it back in 2024. So there was I guess everyone was pumped. Some statistics that we did have 396 registered participants, 58 survivors, and 30 teams. And again, those were businesses, nonprofits, organizations. We had schools. We do in our community have a college. They were participant in that. We have a rural hospital, which now I am employed at. And during this time, I was with the Chamber of Commerce. And so the Chamber was a part of it. And it was just wonderful to see all these different organizations come together for this event. We did raise $15,000 in sponsorships alone. And then for the entire event, we had just north of 40,000. So we went from the 25 to $5,000 goal, and we kept upping it and upping it and upping it and upping it. And it was just so fun to call Keena and tease her and say, "Hey, I meet your goal. I met it, you know." And she's like, "All right, well, what are we bumping it to?" And I'm like, "We have to stop. We have to stop." She's like, "No, keep going, keep going." So we did. And she encouraged us and she supported us. And then she introduced me to Brian. And then Brian was there at our event. And that was fantastic to see. One of the things that I'm most proud of is our Luminatias. That was a huge thing. We sold 1,195 Luminatias. And so we were able to cover the track twice. And then we had the colorful glow sticks, and it was just beautiful sight to see when all the lights turned off, and it just brought back a lot of memories, you know. So we did win a challenge. We won a 10-foot inflatable Luminaria that we had there at our event, and we were very proud of that. Our event leadership team, the YI Relay Challenge, yeah. Brian, thanks for that. So we did win that. We had it proudly displayed with a banner that read "Welcome to Relay for Life of Uvalde, Texas." And so overall, it was a wonderful experience. This is again someone that I never, I had never been on the logistics side. I had never been other than attending the event, and I brought my family into it, and my wife was very supportive, and she was there the night before writing down names on Luminatias, and she was like, "How many more?" And I'm like, "Keep going. We have a lot more to do," And so it was a great way to honor my great friend Barbara Carpenter. It was a great way to honor even more, family members and friends that I had that have lost their life to cancer, and so overall, it was great for our community. I did mention that our goal was the hope, and so we did have giant letters. I want to say they're about 8 feet, welded by our college, and they read "Hope." And they were at the corner of the event. And so I did connect with them once again this year. And I said, "Hey, now I want one for each corner. I want to hope. I want to fight. I want to love. I want to, all these things." And so having the support from the American Cancer Society, from Keena, from Brian, from Suzy, having the support from our community, having the team of event, the event leadership team, that is all that you need for a successful event. I mean, thinking outside the box, doing things that you wouldn't normally do. I mean, the sponsorship alone, if that we have a lot of small mom and pop businesses, and some can't give what a corporate does, and so we just say, "Hey, you want to sponsor a couple of Luminatias? Like, let's do it." Okay. And so another thing that we did was partner with the local schools, and we got the children involved, and they were decorating Luminatias in case there was someone who didn't want to decorate, they just wanted their name, whatever. Hey, we sent it off to the school. They got it real colorful and pretty, and so all of that is Uvalde Relay for Life. I'm very proud to be the event lead here. I'm very proud to announce that we were awarded the South Region Event of the Year. And so it just ties back into the passion, the hope, the everything. I can't wait for this year, 2025. We've already been meeting our event leadership team, and so it's very, very exciting, everyone. I hope I didn't take up too much time, but I love sharing our story.
Your first goal this year is 50,000.
Thanks, Keena.
MJ, that's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing. And the chat's all kind of chatty and excited for you and celebrating you.
Thank y'all. Thank you very much, everyone.
Look what one person can do, guys. I mean, it's just phenomenal. Just like Dr. Klatt did. One person who had the idea to bring it back, and congratulations, MJ, and your entire team. We know it takes more than one, but you did a phenomenal job. Just the thought and following up on it. So kudos,
Thank you.
We'll be watching you in the future too. And
fantastic.
we know you have to go work. So sorry.
Thank y'all. Thank you for having me. It was great seeing you. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everyone.
Same to you, MJ. Bye-bye. That's just remarkable to me. So we have another person, and this may involve a little weather situation, but Kaitlyn is up next. Kaitlyn Salladay from Eugene-Springfield, Oregon. So I'm going to turn it over to you, friend.
Thanks, Suzy. Like Suzy said, I'm Kaitlyn. I'm one of the co-event chairs from the Relay for Life of Eugene-Springfield. I think my other co-chair, Amber, is on. So as much as I talk about myself in this story, there's my other half as well and the rest of our committee. But 2024 Relay was one that we will definitely never forget. What started out as one of the most successful events we've had in years. Our participation was up. We were on track to hit record attendance, ended in us having to evacuate the track. I would have never guessed that a freak lightning storm would occur in mid-August, but that's Oregon weather for you. And while the weather did surprise me, what didn't was the resilience of our relayers. Being in a leadership position and having to make the announcement that after just 2 hours, everyone would need to evacuate the track, I had no idea what the response would be. As my heart broke watching everyone leave, my passion in our event was quickly restored when I witnessed a large portion of our relayers waiting in their cars for some of them hours, waiting for our event to resume. There was a sudden influx of Facebook posts and messages letting us know that they were waiting for notice that the track was again safe, just showing how important our event is to each and every one of them. After hours of lightning, we were again faced with a heartbreaking decision to cancel our event entirely. But our 2024 Relay doesn't stop there. Through the relentless determination of our committee, we planned a second, smaller event. I mean, how many committees can say they planned 2 relays in 1 year? In about a month's time, we turned a parking lot into Relay Under the Stars, where our teams were able to set up fundraising sites, our participants were able to partake in the Survivor Lap and Luminaria ceremony, and our sponsors were able to be recognized. While we were able to overcome our event being canceled, we now faced a new challenge, a gap to our goal. At the conclusion of our August event, we were about $100,000 short of our $500,000 goal. But I'm very pleased to announce that we were able to raise $479,820.10 by the end of the relay season. Now that happened through restaurant fundraisers, bake sales, team fundraisers, and a truly incredible fundraiser hosted by one of our longtime teams and sponsors, Priority One. It wouldn't have been possible without our amazing relay community. We didn't hit 500,000, but we were so close. And to do all of that in just a few short months, especially after our event went through what it went through, I mean, my passion in relay has truly been restored, and my faith in our community is at an all-time high. We definitely overcame a lot, and I'm so thankful to all of our participants and, more importantly, my committee and my co-chair. And just like the last speaker said, now we're planning for 2025. I personally will never complain again about heat at relay. I will take that any day over rain and, more importantly, lightning. But we're very much looking forward to 2025.
That is so cool. Awesome job. And as an accountant, I round up to 500,000. So
thank you.
Close enough. No.
That's a story of true perseverance. And when you were saying people are talking about how they're just waiting in their cars, makes me want to cry, because I just know as myself, as I would be sitting out there every minute letting I'd be playing my music, beeping the horn, letting I'm still here, so I just know that your relayers love y'all so much. So it's
and
really
our food trucks too, they stayed open in the parking lot serving food for people who are waiting in their cars. There was probably a mini relay happening in the parking lot just waiting for relay to start back up, but people were very determined that we were going to resume that day.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you so much for sharing. And
thank you.
Perseverance. I know everybody gets the rain. So the lightning factor is tough, but you guys did an awesome job. Thank you so much. Let's see. Maybe it's time for commercial break.
Oh, I was just coming on to do the commercial break thing.
Oh, yeah.
We come to you now with a commercial break.
When I hear cancer, I hear death sentence.
At that moment, it was Sadness, scared, surprised, worry, everything.
Every 15 seconds, someone will hear the words, "You have cancer." At the American Cancer Society, this is why we're here, to help people facing cancer through their entire journey. Every cancer, every life. And today, we're asking for your support.
I was ready to battle and do whatever it took to be there for my family.
Your donation helps fund our cancer research.
I survived cancer because of research funded by the American Cancer Society.
Thanks to our efforts and others, over 4 million lives have been saved since 1991. But we can't do it without your support. To donate, call, go online, or scan the QR code now. Your gift helps ensure people don't miss their life-saving treatments. Last year, we gave over 750,000 free rides. Your gift supports our Hope Lodge communities, where patients and caregivers can stay when they travel for care, free of charge.
It's so important that my mom is here at the Hope Lodge with me.
This year, over 2 million Americans will hear the words, "You have cancer." Your donation will help us be there for them and help support our efforts to end cancer as we know it for everyone.
I want to thank you guys for your donations that make my stay here possible.
I owe it all to the American Cancer Society. I want to show people that there is strength even with cancer, that there is hope.
Every cancer, every life.
I am a prostate cancer,
colorectal cancer,
stage 4 breast cancer survivor.
Call now or go to give.cancer.org to donate today.
Oh, so powerful. That's a new ad that's coming out. Marketing team, it's kind of our first foray into revenue driving advertising. Don't know if anybody's seen it yet in your markets, but we wanted to share it with you guys. You're some of the first to see it. So something new. Hopefully we'll drive revenue with that and keep on funding all of our projects and services and research. But all right, without further ado, William, you want to share with us? William's the event lead at Hertford Gates in North Carolina, and he's got some stuff to share with us.
Hey, good evening, everyone. First, a little, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, first, a little background on our event. Our event basically did not exist. We struggled coming out of COVID. Nobody wanted the position. Nobody wanted to start over. Nobody wanted to call anybody, text anybody. So I volunteered. Basically, I assembled my own team, and I asked, hey, if you're going to let me do it, we're going to do it correctly. This year meant a lot to us because this marked the 20th year of the relay in our community. Right before COVID, we got kicked off Chowan University, where we had our relay. And, you know, college campuses is where relay needs to happen. But we got kicked off simply because management had changed hands and relay was not important to them. So we were having relay in an amphitheater. We had a drive-through relay. Everything just was not successful. So this year it took a lot of doing, but we got back on the college campus. The president there, she was a relayer. She welcomed us. We celebrated them. We bought a plaque. We called the board of commissioners, the board of directors, everybody to the stage. We honored them. We clapped for them. We sung with them. We actually invited our first event lead for Hertford Gates. We made it a celebration, and that's what brought everybody back. We went from raising $0 to $234,000. You know, we did well. It was a point where we didn't know what we were gonna do because nobody wanted to do anything. I can't take all the credit for it. You know, I did assemble a dream team, you know, but I can't take all the credit for them. We persevered. Part of our main thing was our sponsorship. We're in an impoverished area where no one has a lot of money. If you don't work at one or two places, you really can't sponsor anybody because you don't have a whole lot of money. So what I did, I got with my ACS staff and we gutted our sponsorship package. We went square one. I said, well, there's no way that I can take this sponsorship package to my community because they can't give me what we're asking for. So that being said, we gutted it. We redid it, all the numbers and all the celebratory things, and it worked. Our profit, I think we profited probably 25% more sponsorship just by gutting our package and catering to our community. So that was a win for us. We went back to straight celebrating. As far as survivors, survivors just don't want to be celebrated during your event. They want to be celebrated year round. So what we did, we got birthday cards, we got Christmas cards, we got holiday cards. So we actually let them know that Relay is here 12 calendar months of the year, just not when we're at the college doing Relay. So that's one thing that we did differently, and it worked. They were so happy. Got Brian got me some swag, even though it was old. People love swag. Once again, we're in an impoverished area. So we took all our swag to the pain center, to the hospital. Those patients, they love little trinkets. They love pens. They love socks. Brian gave me some books, some book bags. They love all that. So anything like that, if you give them to patients, they're going to thank you. And I've gotten so many calls and texts and thanks for bringing Relay back to the college campus, bringing Relay back to Hertford Gates. It's been an unbelievable experience. In doing so, we decided to partner with our local newspaper. So every month we did an article in the newspaper. The first article was on survivors. The next article was on how we're going to celebrate. The third article was why do we relay? And we interviewed different people in the community with their permission and put it in the newspaper. We just made it personal. So by the time Relay came about, people were ready for it. People wanted to come out to Relay. And it was a stoic event. It was a lot of tears, a lot of weeks, a lot of months of hard work. I got a great staff partner in Benita Dunham. She helped me every single day. We still talk weekly now on how we can make things better. I can't thank Brian enough for the things that he's given me. He called and texted and said, "Hey, I got some trash, literally, I need to get rid of." I said, "Well, send it all to me because I put it all to good use. Now I don't have any of it." But they love that. But the point that I want to make is the celebration stats. You have to celebrate your community, celebrate your wins, even if they're small wins. And that's what we did. Some things we didn't do well, some things we did great, but each win we celebrated, each entire win, and we built upon it. We had participants that dropped out because they were unwilling to change. I had to have a whole lot of hard conversations. I had to have the hard conversation because I have to do what's best for Relay. I have to do what's best for Hertford Gates Relay. And if you're not willing to change, if you can't change people, you have to change people. It was a hard conversation to have, but it was actually needed. You have to rip the Band-Aid off, and that's what I did. I enjoyed it. Everybody loved it. I'm looking forward to 2025. We're just waiting just to see what's going to happen next. And believe it or not, I have participants calling me and texting me now and say, "Hey, what's your plan for 2025? I said, "Well, it's not my plans, it's our plans." They said, "Well, no, you have some great plans." I said, "No, I'm going to empower y'all to make the decision. I'm going to just sit back and watch. Only thing I'm going to do, I'm going to build spreadsheets and build PowerPoint like I always do. I'm going to sit back and watch." So it's been a great experience. I thank all the ACS staff. Thank you for all the encouragement, all the training. Jamie, Amanda, everyone. Even though my direct team, of course, still we're a top performing team. Yes, we know how to raise money, but we need encouragement also. So countless texts and emails say, "Hey, William, you're doing a good job. Hey, Hertford Gates is doing a good job." That goes a long way because we struggled too. There was a lot of sleepless nights. About 2 days before Relay, all of our food trucks had canceled on us. So I didn't know how I was going to feed anyone. So everybody else was happy and good lucky, but I was stressed. That's where all this gray come from. I was stressed trying to figure out how I was going to feed everybody, but everything came together. A lot of people wish they would have came to our relay that didn't know it was going to be so great. Once they put it in the paper, they're like, oh man, I'm sorry I missed it. Sorry I missed it. You know, I went to a football game. I should have came out there. I said, well, come next year. Come next year. Bring a friend. Become a team. Be a sponsor. Be a donor. Come next year. They said, okay, we will. So 2025, I think is going to be a great year. I'm looking forward to it. I will be the event lead yet once again. I was scared to death because this was a leap of faith for me. I've always been a team captain of my own team, but I've never ran a whole entire event. Therefore, each component I was responsible for, whether it failed or whether it was a success. But it was great. It was a humbling experience. I learned a lot. I listened a lot. I cried a lot. I loved on a whole lot of people. It was just great. You know, I've always been able to raise money, but it's been forwarding and the mission has been very challenging, but it's not a challenge anymore. So all I have to say is be sure to celebrate the survivors. That's why we do what we actually do right now. You know, they're tangible. They're people that we can put our hands on. There's somebody that we can call. There's someone that we can talk to. Listen to them. Whatever they want, give it to them. They say, hey, William, can we go back to Chowan College? It took me 3 weeks fighting with Chowan College and fighting with the town of Muffinsburg trying to get that back. You know, I miss work. I have a great work staff. My managers at work, they know what relay means to me and my family. So they let me take off work. Some of them even accompanied me to these meetings with these political leaders and trying to get me what I needed. So I have a great support system. So I wish everyone could have what I have, but I'm going to keep them. I'm not going to share them. So that's my story.
You're really brave and you're really encouraging. And I took notes. Thank you, William.
Look, sometimes you just got to rip that Band-Aid off. You just got to do it. You got to put your feelings aside, do what's best for relay. My mother is a cancer survivor. So I had her in the back of my mind the whole time. You know, I'm going to make her proud of me. I'm going to do this for her. And I did it for the community and I love it. I can't have it. I can't see it no other way.
It's perfect, William. And I love the flexibility and empowering. And, you know, it was leap year, so you had to take your leap.
Woo, yes, it was. I was scared to death, Susan. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, but you knew you could pull it off too, my friend. Well done.
Yes.
Well done. Thank you so much for stepping up and doing that. And I could say we saved the best for last, but everybody's great. But Shelle, I mean, come on, Shelle Arnold, my friend, is team captain. So we're doing a little different. Shawnee County, right? And Gold Together team. So so exciting. Kansas, coming to us from No, you're coming from, what'd you say?
I'm in, my event is in Kansas. I happen to be in Colorado for just a few days. But yeah, I mean, my golly, I feel like I'm just like way down here underneath and that. I mean, from what I've heard from everybody tonight is amazing. And yes, I've been taking notes too. And just as I was sitting here, I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't even remember how much money I raised last year. But I think it was probably close maybe to $14,000 or $15,000. It was the most I had ever raised ever. And you know, I was relentless in asking for donations, whether it's on Facebook, on the phone, in person. Start early, ask often. If you don't ask, they can't say no. And some of my other friends have taught me, if it's something you enjoy doing, turn it into a fundraiser. I think that Jenna has maybe even done push-ups or pull-ups or something for, you know, however long. That's not me though, but One of the things that I first learned at Relay is if someone is a success with our fundraising or whatever they are doing, it is a-okay to beg, borrow, and steal and make it your own. And thanks to my friend Saralyn Lash, who does her favorite things, I have done that for a few years now. And generally for myself, that can be anywhere from $2,000 to a $2,500 10-day fundraiser. People will donate, and they'll donate often. One of the other things that I have done is I have gone after corporate sponsorships on my own. If I've got family and friends that own a business, I will ask them to be a corporate sponsor, big or small. A corporate sponsor can be your Luminaria sponsor or your caregiver shirt sponsor. My husband's company last year was the caregiver shirt sponsor. We also do special survivor shirts at our event, and we have a survivor sponsor. Sponsor can sponsor the kids' games and some of those kinds of things. So there's a lot of different opportunities there. Most importantly, you need to share your why, and you need to put some passion in it. Let people know why you relay. And sometimes that is difficult to talk about, but it still needs to be talked about. It's just the way things are. That's kind of what I've got is, and share your goal. And where are you at your goal? I think my goal started at maybe $2,500 last year, and didn't take very long, and I was there. So I upped it to 5,000, and oh, hey, I'm up to $5,000, and it just kept going up. And when I was getting oh so close, I let everybody know. I said, look, I really need your help. I want to raise $15,000 this year, and I'm at $12,000 or $14,000. People will do what they can for you, whether they've already donated before, if they've donated 10 times before. Make it personal. I think that is so important, is to make it personal. And as I've told some of my young Gold Together survivors, people need to know your story. They need to know your why. They need to know why we are so passionate about Relay, what brought us to Relay, why we stay there, why we spend all dang day there, even if we're only there to Relay for 6 hours, and why we put our heart and soul into that event, because that's what we do. And I feel so humbled to have been asked to speak, and especially after, William and MJ and Kaitlyn, and I'm just, oh my gosh, incredible stories. Great job. And I'm honored to be a part of this thing.
Well, Shelle, I'm sure everyone on this call is wishing they had a Shelle at their event, because it's pretty incredible. You're a cheerleader, and anyone who's not scared to keep raising their goal like that and do it in the name of childhood cancer research, is really powerful. So, and it takes all of these things that we're celebrating tonight to make the successes possible, to make those Hope Lodge stays possible, to make the road to recovery and all of that research happen. So it's pretty incredible what everybody's sharing tonight. And I think we're all going to walk away with new ideas and kind of that reigniting of your passion, even in the winter when we kind of have a little more downtime. It's like, wait, this is our why. These are our exciting things. So thank you for sharing.
Absolutely. Thank you. Do we have anybody that we've got a few minutes we can open up? Was there anything in the chat that we need anybody to come off and brag on their event?
They mostly shared where they relayed at and cheerleaded the guest speakers.
Awesome.
I think Lynn maybe came off mute. Lynn, do you want to share?
It's actually my husband.
Yeah, my name is. Hey, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, my name's Bill Blaylock, and we're in Cumming, Georgia. And we have a great team, and like others, we're rebounding after COVID, et cetera, But I came up with a little slogan the other day, and I think it has merit. I just tell people, keep your message on your lips and keep your card on your hips. Always be ready to tell your story.
That's great.
I love it.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything? Well, every event out there has some great stories, and we appreciate everybody so much.
Can I say one more thing?
Oh yeah, sure, Bill.
What I learned recently, I helped a couple of people, and I've been doing this for 20 years, and I realized how little I actually know because I went to cancer.org and I took a look at the specifics of how to find information. So I was not aware of this. Many of you are. So I went to cancer.org and I looked at find support and resources, looked at programs for our area, entered the zip code, and I was overwhelmed by the number of programs that are available that cover so many aspects of what people need. So if you haven't done that, I would encourage you, go to cancer.org, find support and resources, search for programs, enter your zip code, and you will be absolutely amazed at how much is available. And I tell people, if anybody you know is battling cancer and they need help, this is where you need to go to find help for you and or your loved one. So please take a look at that, everybody. You will be impressed.
I'll echo that. I think, one of the best things about the American Cancer Society is that we're such a great convener of both researchers and patient services and other organizations. We on the research side, we have our cancer roundtables, like the colorectal cancer roundtable, the breast cancer roundtable, really bringing organizations that are with us in this fight against cancer, and that applies to our services too. And to your point, Bill, Bill, right? I think it's Bill, right? Yeah, Bill. To your point, I think our both on our website and also when you call the 800 number, not only do you have access to all the services that ACS provides directly, but also all these partner organizations that we index. Our NCIC team indexes a lot of their information, make sure it's up to date, and can get people connected to the services that they need depending on their unique situation and their unique circumstances with their cancer journey. So I love that you called that out. It's such a great thing that, we a lot of times so many of us have local cancer organizations and they're in our communities and they're important too. But the work of ACS is when you get to our scale, it's so great to be able to bring all those resources to one easy to find place like you're talking about.
And I'm about to take a look at veterans because I am a veteran. And due to burn pits or Agent Orange, asbestos, et cetera, many veterans have been exposed to cancer, have cancer. Sometimes the VA is as good as it is. Sometimes they need local help right in their own community. So we have a group here called About Face. That is a veteran organization, as well as we have the VFW and the American Legion. So I am planning to visit with those people and see what help we can give them to fill the gaps that VA does not include.
It's amazing. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, I mean, it's right at our fingertips, so much information, and that's part of what you're funding is cancer.org. And I'll put a shameless plug in for acsresources.org too. There's tons of information out there as event leaders and participants with things that you can put your hands on it very easily. So another resource for everybody to have.
I will share, Suzy, just one last thing. I know we have a closing speaker tonight too, but I do think, and it's kind of in the vein of our closing speaker, so I hope I'm not stealing anything from her, but we did bring on two new global Relay for Life partners in 2024 as well. So they are now relaying in Qatar. They had their first relay, I think it was in October. And they are also now relaying in Colombia. I don't know if they've had their first event. They were trained earlier this year in Bogota. So there are now 35 countries around the world, including the U.S., where Relay for Life events take place. And so we're very proud of our global movement, and that's a volunteer staff partnership as well. Very strong volunteer team there, and our amazing staff partner Matt on our global team. So, a lot to be proud of there too, and Relay continues to grow, not just here in the U.S., but around the world.
So much to celebrate, just so much.
I tried to drop links to everything people were talking about. I just put Global Relay for Life in the chat too.
You're so good. Thank you. See, I'm so lucky to have these guys as my staff partners. I think we're just going to do some upcoming dates, and then I'm going to turn it over to a dear friend of mine. We have First Lap, January 11th. Hope you guys are planning to participate. That date doesn't work for you and your group, pick another date. The only thing that matters is we get together and we celebrate and we get ready to kick off the new year 2025, because it's going to be a remarkable year, celebrating the 40th anniversary and 40 years of impact that Relay for Life has had on the US and the world. We've got 2 more trainings coming, January 23rd on sponsorship, which I think we could have some of these people who've been on the call today to help join and talk about that. And then the 30th, we have recruitment, engaging the ELT and supporting our team captains. I think 2025 is going to be the year of the team captains, and we really want to focus on them, make sure we get them recruited, and love on them some, so we can build this wonderful event that we all love and share it with as many people as we can. Thank you guys. Before I turn it over to Saralyn, I want to thank you for everything you've done. Can't tell you how much we all appreciate it. Maybe battery down, charge down for a little bit, and then we're going to kick butt in 2025. So enjoy your holidays. And I do want to turn it over to a global hero of hope, who's done so much for us. And Saralyn, if you will take it over, please, my friend, and close us out.
Suzy, before I do that, can I ask you, what is a moment from you this year that has been
Saralyn, I got something. I got to visit a lot of relays this year across the country, and Tacoma. I got to be at Tacoma while they celebrated their 40th. And it was remarkable just to be there, be a part of that ceremony, get to see so many people that I have met. I saw Michelle Gilbreth on the call and got to see Nicole while I was out there. So the people I have met in my 2 years, and to be there at the Tacoma Relay where it all started, I got to visit the track where Gordy did the first relay. It's I'm a fangirl, and so it was remarkable for me. So thank you for letting me share that. I'm a lucky person to be in this position.
Well, we're lucky to hear about it too. We're lucky that you've been our leader. So thank you.
Friend.
So my name is Saralyn Lash. I am a global hero of hope, and I'm also part of the global Relay for Life team, and I'm very lucky to do that. I am both a survivor and a caregiver. My caregiver stories range from celebrating cancer-free with a friend to sitting with a friend in the hospital waiting for her to pass. And that is where I get my passion, because I made a promise that I will not stop until every mother survives to see her kids grow up. So I won't get into that story horribly, because I will cry, you will cry. It's not pretty. But I would love to share with you my survivor story. So we're celebrating 40 years of impact with Relay for Life. I'm celebrating 30 years cancer-free. Yeah. 30 years. I've had 31 birthdays since I've heard the words, "You have cancer." I was 21 years old in college when I was diagnosed with endometrial cancer. And this type of cancer is one that usually affects women in their 70s. It was so rare. In fact, the doctor, when I was diagnosed, looked at me, told me the results came back cancerous. His next words were, "Why are you crying? Stop crying. It can't be cancer." And statistically, he was right. But in my case, he was wrong. I was lucky enough to have a doctor who, about 45 minutes away, who had walked this road with somebody else at my age. And he was one of 5 doctors in America who had treated somebody at my age with that type of cancer. He knew the road to make me well again. Now, I'll tell you, physically, cancer's hard. Is anyone going to argue with that? No. But for me, mentally, emotionally, cancer was harder. When I talk about my story and the healing process, I talk about it in terms of emotional, and I talk about it in terms of peace, love, and purple. And the first thing I had to do was make peace with what had happened. I had to make peace with the new scars that are now part of my body. I had to make peace with any limitations that I now had, which included not being able to have children of my own. That was rough at age 21. Making peace for me also means being an advocate for others now. It's not just about me. It's not about what happened to me. It's about what I can do for others. And a lot of times that happens through what we do every day as part of Relay, and also what we do through ACS CAN, the Cancer Action Network. If you're not involved there, check it out, because you can make peace with cancer by advocating for others. So that was peace. Love. Oh my goodness. Nobody gets through cancer alone. Caregivers are the only reason we have survivors. My mom was my main caregiver. My grandmother had me on every prayer list she could find, from Ohio to Arizona, I think, because that was the furthest she knew anybody at that point. Family, friends, and you know what? The emotional healing continued after I came to Relay for Life. I was diagnosed in 1994. I came to Relay in 1998, and the healing was still happening. So peace, love, purple. And as I'm looking at William's background, we all know what purple stands for. Purple stands for Relay for Life. So Relay for Life, I came as a very quiet, shy, believe it or not, for those of you who know me, quiet and shy. Yeah. I was embarrassed about having cancer. I was a victim of cancer. When I came to Relay, I became part of a community of cancer fighters. I became a survivor, not a victim, because I now belong to a community who celebrates my survivorship, who celebrates that my life is still here, who has action in our community to make sure that others have that same opportunity. So while my cancer journey isn't the most horrible one you're ever going to hear, probably not the most memorable story, my goal is to be the most memorable thank you that you can ever hear. So what I want you to understand is, while we're talking about 40 years of impact, I'm talking about 30 years of survivorship. We're talking about more than just a birthday every year. A birthday is one day. And like William referenced, survivors need to know you're here every day. So what I want to do is list for you some of the things that have happened in my life because I've been a survivor for 30 years, because I've had 365 days every single year to spend with my family and friends and make memories. So since the time I heard you had cancer, I have been able to graduate from college. I've earned my MBA. I've gotten my first career. I have rented my first apartment. I eventually bought my first home. I have traveled. I've seen London, Paris, the Grand Canyon, Rome, San Francisco, all the places that I had never seen before I heard those words. And can I just tell you, my family, I was there to celebrate my grandmother's 90th birthday with her. I was there for my parents' 50th anniversary. I was the maid of honor in my best friend's wedding. I held my niece Calla on the day she was born. You guys, this happens because people like you care, because people like you raise money, raise awareness, because we talk about early detection saves lives, because of the actions that you take and the passion you have and the love you have for other people in your community. People like me get to celebrate everyday things, and we get to celebrate big things. So do you hear me loud and clear? Thank you for what you do. So as we've been talking about 40 years of impact this year, and think about the American Cancer Society's list of things like what I just listed for you, because those are things that we've been a part of. We are part of the 40 years of history, the 40 years of impact, the things that have come and the things that are to come. And that's what I want to talk to you and leave you with. Because we have 40 years of impact, but we're relayers and we're already thinking, what's next? That four-letter word, next. So maybe as a team captain, you need to find somebody new to invite to your team. If you're great at fundraising, pull somebody up with you. Mentor somebody. If you see somebody struggling to make their $100, hey, have you tried this? Invest in somebody else. Invest in the next generation of relayers. If you're a team or if you're in event leadership, bring somebody up with you. Maybe you want to search for a new sponsor. Maybe you want to raise your own personal goal. Maybe you want to invite a survivor. We all want to know what's next. And to paraphrase something I've seen from our marketing department at one point, you guys, we are the freaking American Cancer Society. We are built for and we are ready for what's next. So bring on 2025.
Don't think anything else needs to be said. Thank you, Saralyn. Appreciate it. Thanks for making me cry. Thank you, everybody, for being on. Appreciate everything you do, and can't wait for 2025 and see what happens. What's next? What's next? Have a good evening.
See y'all at first lap.
Yeah. See ya. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.